is the McCreary Report with Bill McCreary.
Good morning. We have lots to tell you about this morning, including the 50th anniversary celebration of a Catskills resort. King's Lodge in upstate New York has been run by the same family for 50 years. Now, that's a half-century of serving up food and fun to thousands of guests from all over the country. The third generation has taken over, and they've kept the warm family tradition that has made them a huge success. And still ahead, join me when we visit a special place in the Catskills as we celebrate the 50th anniversary of a family-owned resort there. It's a family affair. We'll have that and more when we return. Over the years, you've seen and heard a number of stories about the destructive split in the minority family structure. But what you don't see as often, even though it's quite prevalent, is how close many of these families are, even under trying circumstances. On last week's program, we did a story about Sylvia's Restaurant on Lenox Avenue in Harlem. It was the establishment's 25th anniversary. The restaurant's long-term success could be directly attributed to family involvement, loyalty, and a strong desire to succeed. This week, we have a story about 75 miles from the city in Otisville, New York, very similar to the story of Sylvia's Restaurant. It's the story of a resort area known as King's Lodge, which has been owned and operated by one family for 3 generations. King's Lodge was opened by Mr. and Mrs. Marcellus Owens in 1937, and this year is celebrating its 50th anniversary. In 1937, most resorts in the Catskill area were closed to blacks. So the two pioneers, Mr. and Mrs. Owens, who were property owners in the city, decided to open a summer resort to accommodate blacks that was fit for a king. In 1946, the daughter of the Owens, Dolly, met Charles Godfrey, a guest at the lodge, fell in love, and married that fall. Taking no time for a honeymoon, they went to work immediately, improving the farm and the resort. Then in 1979, Grady and Julie Owens came into the business representing the third generation. Grady, who worked with Burlington Mills, and his wife, who was a registered nurse, came into the business with the intentions of keeping the family tradition of good service, comfortable accommodations, and excellent food alive.
When the family came to us, the second generation, and said that they need someone to carry it on, Judy and I talked about it and said, I really was negative. Judy was positive. And I said, I grew up here. I know everybody that's here. But I said, no, it can't feed us. It can't support us the way we're used to living. So anyway, we decided, okay, we'll give it a shot. I left Burlington and came into the family business. And it's just a tradition. We know people for so many years. The people coming here since before I was born. And we just thought that at least one black family should keep a tradition alive.
Before I came here, I didn't even know anything about resorts. I had never been to one. This was the first experience. And just being here and meeting these people, and it's just a wonderful experience, that just coming across so many different types of people, and I must say only nice people come here. It has to be, because I've only come across nice people, and it's been a wonderful experience.
Well, I talk to some people like you're going back 50 years, and there were certain places that blacks just were not allowed to go as a resort area. They couldn't go to certain places. They were not accepted in certain areas. Now, of course, that basically has changed. What effect, if any, has that had on your business? The subject of integration. It's like the colleges, the black colleges now are all integrated. Now, up in this area, when it was once segregated, now that it's integrated, what effect has that had on your business, if any?
Well, I think one of the major effects was, if you go back, is you got to remember Dr. Charles Drew, who invented blood plasma. He had a summer home in Greenwood Lake, and a lot of other very successful blacks also had them. They were not allowed to use the lake to swim in, so they used to come to King's Lodge to swim. Now they had to leave Greenwood Lake and come all the way up here to swim. So then, of course, when integration came, everything opened up, because I can remember, 20, 25 years ago, we had about 20 black resorts around here. Most of them have gone under. There's just a couple left. And it's been tough because once immigration came, and immigration is a two-way street, we have to open up to whites, and the whites have to open up to blacks. Now, we, of course, welcome anyone who wants to come here, naturally. But 99% of our business is still black business. And we're one of the few businesses that thrive and succeed on a black clientele. And we're very proud of that.
The day we visited King's Lodge, it was cloudy and a bit chilly, but it didn't dampen the spirit of the guests. There was action on the 2 all-weather tennis courts, and the players appeared to be taking their recreation in a serious and competitive manner. As we stated earlier, it was a somewhat chilly August day, but guess what? The pool to some was so inviting, it was irresistible, and to those who could not resist, they did the next best thing. There was also action in the clubhouse, a big dance floor to accommodate live entertainment on the weekends, and disco during the week. There's also table tennis, game machines, a lunch counter, and a generous bar for those who are so inclined. But the major attraction takes place right here in the dining room, where guests receive 2 meals a day. To most guests we talk with, the food is the main attraction, and the family involvement is ever present. 2 of the owner's children, Keith and Aaron, are among the waiters, making sure the guests are served promptly and courteously, and that their every need is taken care of. We talked with some of the guests about this vacation spot. Among them, a lady who spent her honeymoon here 50 years ago when the place first opened. Now, you chose this place to spend your honeymoon.
Yeah.
Stayed up here for a week.
That's right.
What did it cost you for that week? Do you remember?
Well, I just only $46.
$46 for the whole week here.
That's right.
And you've been coming back how many times have you
I've been here, I was here 37, 42, 58, 78. 87.
You must really like this place.
I do. I like it's quiet. And it's not a whole lot, there's music banging and carrying. You don't have it. You have it down there. You don't hear it. You can sleep and be comfortable here. That's why I like it.
Is this your first trip here?
No, I've been here before with my parents. They have brought me up here before. And I had like the atmosphere, the people, the surroundings,